they're just so common, they have no personality, they're buying the same things as everyone else. Did she not have a stack of 5 Cartier love bracelets on her wrist? The drama! Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jessica and I created Dolled Up by Jay. So in today's video, we need to discuss this topic, are designer bags done? If you are in the fashion community on YouTube and this is your interest, you probably saw this video by HRH Collection. She did a video saying designer bags are done. I've seen some of the response videos to this and I was like, oh my God, naturally, I'm just like sitting here and I'm like, okay, I have to do my own. Like I have to do my own. If you guys know me by now, like I have to have a response, okay? I've seen clips of Erica's Girly World. I've seen my friend Tor at Anthropology. Definitely check his channel out. I'll link his video below on this topic. And you know, I think this is a really interesting topic. Personally, I'm not familiar with HRH Collection's videos. I think her name is Alex. So watching this was my first experience of her videos and her content, and I think I might have PTSD, honestly. Like, I totally respect that she is 100% herself on her channel. I totally respect that. She did make some very valid points in the video. For example, she said that they're just becoming so common now. There's nothing special about them. Everyone has them. It's all you see on Instagram. But then she made some other points that I don't necessarily agree with. So let's talk about this topic. Let's get into some of these points. And she's basically saying that she's not going to buy any more bags that are $1,000 or more. And you know, this is obviously because she already has so many of them and is in a place where she can do so. And it's basically annoying that there's so many people having bags now and they're just shoved down our throats all the time on social media. There's nothing special about them. They're just so common. I think that this obviously really depends on where you are from and what content you consume. Andrea said this in her video. You know, this is something I've spoken about on this channel about, is the Birkin just a status symbol? Is it so common? Are we over it? It's really just based on the content you're consuming. If you're following fashion influencers and luxury influencers and rich influencers, then they're gonna have a certain type of bags and shoes in their wardrobe, and that's what they're gonna be posting about, right? So I think that in the grand scheme of the things, there's 8 billion people in the world. There are not 8 billion people wearing Prada, Fendi, Dior, Chanel all the time, or Hermes. No, that is not the case. It really depends on the content you're consuming. It depends on the city you live in. You know, someone in a rural suburb probably isn't going to see someone walking around decked out in Fendi from head to toe than if you're in a big city where people walking around in Gucci, Monogram, and Balenciaga. This is much more common. I think it depends on where you are from as well. And I think that the luxury community is not really going to go anywhere. I think it's a bit kind of naive to say, you know, designer bags are done, we're over it, let's move on. I know designer jeans, yes, this is one of the points in the video. Designer jeans used to be a big thing, but that was a phase. Designer bags have always been around, I would argue. Designer bags in the last 30, 40 years have kind of always been a thing with the elites of the world, the rich. Yes, they're definitely easier to attain now for a lot of people. Even though the price rises, it doesn't make sense. It seems more people are buying them, but even though the prices are gone up, they're still buying them and they're still more popular as ever. You know, I would also relate this to the rise of fakes. People feel the pressure to fit in, and so they're buying more counterfeit items and DHgate and all of that. I just made a video about this. It's a good one. I'll link it below. So, you know, there is this societal pressure. Part of it is that I think there's a lot more counterfeiting happening and a lot of fake bags happening, and I could see the frustration with someone, especially like Alex, who's, you know, spent her hard-earned money on these items, and now she's just seeing versions of these bags sold at Shein, you know, Fashion Nova, all these fast fashion sites, Zara, that are making look-alike designer bags. And why would you want to go and spend $2,000-$3,000 on a Bottega Veneta pouch when you can get the $20 version just online as a replica or from a fast fashion brand? I totally get that. You know, it is a bit annoying. It kind of takes away. I think to defend that, if you are buying a style that is generic, such as a Bottega pouch that has no obvious branding on it, and you are looking for the branding recognition, then buy something from a designer brand that has the logo on it. That's not going to take away the issue of, well, there's so many counterfeits of this. For example, Louis Vuitton and Gucci are some of the most heavily counterfeited brands in the world. But you will know for yourself. You've gone into the boutique, you've had the boutique experience, and you know for yourself it is authentic. And if you do want that brand recognition and you don't want the bag to be mistaken for something on Shein, then get the real thing. I don't necessarily agree with her saying every Tom, Dick, and Harry has one. There's nothing special about it anymore. I mean, I kind of took that as, okay, so you're allowed to have designer bags, but if more people save up their money and buy them, then that makes yours worth less because more people have it. Like, you're more important than those people. That's kind of how I read it as. I'm sure she didn't mean it as that, but that's just kind of how it came off to me. Like, every Tom, Dick, and Harry has one. It's not as special anymore. And again, really not everyone does. Maybe the circles that you run in, maybe the cities that you're in, the restaurants you frequent have a more affluent clientele. And with that, you're gonna see more expensive bags. But even in Dubai, for me, I see a lot of expensive bags. And yeah, there will be women in head to toe designer, but there will be women in head to toe fast fashion. And there's both of that, you know what I mean? It's not every single person I'm seeing. And like, I live in Dubai, it's like such a wealthy place, you know? So I think that's too much of a generalization to say everyone has one. I think that the luxury customers are not gonna start shopping fast fashion. Like, they want good quality. Relating this to, you know, quiet luxury, there's a lot of wealthy people in the world that don't wanna have a bag that says Dior all over it. They don't want to have a bag with a Balenciaga logo. They don't want to have a Gucci monogram all over it. They want to buy a bag that does not have a logo, such as something from maybe Loro Piana that is quite, you know, discreet. Even not even buying Hermes. Hermes still has the embossed logo. You know, Bottega might be a little too avant-garde. There are designers that do purses that don't have a logo. Like, look at the example I did in my old money video, the Delvaux brand. That brand has no logos on it, but they're like, what, $6,000, $7,000 plus for these bags. So I think there's always going to be a market for people that want to buy them. I just think that the designers are raising the prices so much that they are pricing people out for sure. And so some people now who may have bought one bag, two bags, three bags, four bags a year are really going to have to think about their purchase and think, do I really want to buy this trending bag, or do I want to save up to buy this more timeless bag that will last me 5 years instead of something that's hot on Instagram? I think people that have an appetite for luxury will still buy luxury. I don't really think that they're done because like someone put out a video. I think that a lot of people on YouTube as well, a lot of the big fashion influencers and YouTubers and collectors, you know, you see like 40, 50, 60 bag collections. Like, that is crazy. I mean, that is, you know, a little bit glorified hoarding, but if I had 40 bags, then I'm not gonna call myself a hoarder. I'm gonna be like, look at my collection too, right? I think the opinions saying designer bags are done are very easy to be said by someone who has already a massive collection of a designer bag. So now they're just bored of them and they're kind of on to the next. I also thought this was a bit ironic in the video, saying, you know, all these basic, all these cheap on Instagram, wearing all these boring bags, and they're just so common. They have no personality. They're buying the same thing as everyone else. Did she not have a stack of 5 Cartier love bracelets on her wrist, which we know is like the most common, overdone, but beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I love the love bracelet. Don't get me wrong, but it is the most common jewelry item, you could argue, of the last 5 years. Like, it is the most popular. So she's saying all these basic in their bags and this and that while she has a closet full of them, but then she's wearing a stack of 5 Cartier love bracelets, which are the jewelry equivalent of like the basic bag, you know? I thought that was a little bit hypocritical. And she goes to talk about like her Miu Miu bag, and it was 800, so it's fine. And it's like, you don't know it's Miu Miu until you see the logo, so it still elevates your outfit. And I'm like, but aren't we doing a whole video on how designer is dead and it doesn't matter what brand? Like, it was just very confusing, honestly. It was very confusing. I tried to take away from what I could. I thought some elements of it were very funny. I think that she has a certain audience that appreciates that type of, I don't even know what to call it. It's just a very intense way of doing videos. I think that there was a bit of hypocrisy in it, personally. I think especially with the pandemic, you know, yes, so many people have been hit hard economically. I think it'd be difficult as well when you're seeing these luxury influencers constantly doing hauls and this and that and this and that. But I think that at the end of the day, if it's that bad, then just unfollow people. You know what I mean? It's like all of these like rail thin, emaciated bikini models and people on Instagram that became so popular with millions of followers, but then they're doing that, you know, by unhealthy means or surgery, whatever. Like, just unfollow them. If it's really making you that upset, then just unfollow them. You know what I mean? Some people delete their social media. Some people don't even use Instagram because it's better for the mental health. So I think that if you're interested in luxury and all of that, that's great. But if it's something that's making you upset and it's making you feel like you're lesser than because it's not something that's attainable to you and it's affecting your mental health, then absolutely. Then unfollow people that are promoting it in a sense. I think that when you see an influencer doing like a pack with me for my trip and they have like 5 Chanel classic flaps and all these like Valentino bags and they're packing those as if they're nothing into their checked luggage. Like, I'm sorry, the thought of putting my Chanel classic flap in a checked piece of luggage that I may or may not never see again makes me feel sick. You know what I mean? If I travel, my Chanel bag is right with me in my carry-on, okay? That thing does not leave my sight, you best believe, because those things are getting more and more expensive. The price rises are getting crazy. Do you really think the airline is gonna reimburse me for the money of a Chanel Classic 5? Absolutely not. They're gonna do everything they can to get away from that. So I just feel like I understand the side of it where luxury bags are dead because we're overseeing them. Maybe you have unfollowed influencers whose content is toxic to you, but you're still constantly seeing the advertisements. The algorithm and all of the advertisements and the sponsored content is honestly getting out of hand on Instagram lately. It's like every third story and every third post basically is a sponsored post or an ad. It's really frustrating. It's really annoying. It's like, I know you can change the tab now to see just who you're following, but it's still just annoying. Like, it's just, I don't want to see a bunch of ads all the time. And Instagram is apparently changing to be a shopping targeted app. That's apparently the plan of Instagram. They're wanting to be more targeted. So if you want your content to be pushed out, I saw a video on this. If you want your content to be pushed out more in 2022, you should put direct shopping links or have like a shop on your Instagram page if you're a business or a content creator, which is like really interesting. So I mean, this could be part of it, why so many people are negatively affected by all of these luxury influencers, because Instagram is trying to funnel you to shop more. So it could be that Instagram might not be the app moving forward for you if you don't want to have this content shoved down your throat constantly anymore, right? You know, there's going to be new apps. Instagram won't be the one forever. TikTok has definitely done a big rise. It's a little bit more candid, a little bit more, you know, unedited. It's harder to Photoshop and Facetune your body in a video. I know it's still possible for people. The popularity of TikTok has really grown because it's just less edited. It's less fake. It's less artificial. It's real people. It's relatable, you know? So, but there are still luxury influencers on there as well. I definitely empathize with, you know, certain influencers that are doing like 4 bag unboxings and like $25,000 hauls on their channel literally every month. Like, yes, that's totally not relatable. And during a pandemic and all of this, you don't want to be seeing content like that on YouTube, whatever. I understand that's like not the most relatable, but you also can control maybe like who you follow. There's a function on YouTube that if you don't like a video, you can click on the right-hand side on the little dots and say, not interested, don't recommend this content to me, and YouTube will stop recommending that to you if that is an issue for you. So I think that, you know, with the economic situation for a lot of people, yes, I think that a lot of people are maybe rethinking their purchases a little bit more, maybe going to be shopping a little bit less of the trends and shopping more timeless classics. And I understand, again, that people that have created large collections of bags and nothing is really inspiring lately into the designer world, I think might be bored and maybe frustrated. And also with the, you know, the influencer gifting campaigns that are constantly happening with bags. They are being gifted tons of bags, like the Dior Rise bag was very heavily gifted. The Louis Vuitton Cuisine bag was heavily gifted. These bags are like force-fed to us from these Instagram campaigns. And, you know, people kind of are like sheep. They're like, oh, this is the new hot bag, let's buy it. And the next month there's another one and another one, another one, right? So I think that people overall just need to be a little bit more analytical as consumers. I think you also need to be asking yourself, okay, why am I interested in this bag? Is this bag genuinely my style? What led me to want this bag? Is this a bag that I saw before I saw it on Instagram? Did I see this in my own shopping and browsing? Is this a bag that will be timeless for the next 5 years, you know? So these are questions we need to be asking instead of just impulse buying things and following the trends. I know that my channel, I love to do, you know, what's hot and new in luxury because we are luxury lovers. We like to see what's new, even just for the fashion enthusiasts, the fashion lovers. Fashion is an art, not necessarily meant to be pushing you to buy things all the time. Just as an appreciation of fashion, this is what I talk about on my channel, right? I think that as well, seeing the price rises of bags going up so much with like some of the economic situations happening in the world, and then seeing the aggressive influencer gifting is making it a little bit annoying for people because these bags are just flooding the market, and then you feel like they're everywhere and you feel like you need to have it, and the prices are going up so much. And like some brands now, the prices are insane. I think that what might happen as well is people that are very interested in luxury bags might just start going to brands that haven't done these outrageous aggressive price increases. For example, Saint Laurent. Saint Laurent has beautiful bags, and the bags are half the price, maybe a third price of Chanel. They're affordable considering, you know, how fashion is. And some of the Prada bags honestly aren't too bad. Givenchy bags, not bad. Balenciaga, not too bad. So there are options out there. I think that maybe there'll be a comeback of certain other brands. I think Dior has had like a really hot year, and Dior has been all over the place, and I really love Dior. But I think that some of the prices for Dior bags, like a Lady Dior leather one is like I think like 7,000 Canadian or something. Like that's a lot, you know, but it is a timeless bag. Again, that is a bag that will be around always, and you'll have it probably in 10 years and it won't be out of style. Whereas maybe the Bottega chain cassette bag is gorgeous, stunning, but it's about $5,000 and it's a very notable style from a certain season. It might not be around, right? So you really just have to judge your purchases on practicality and what's important to you. Do you want a timeless piece? Do you want a trending piece? I think that's all I really have to say. Again, yeah, I don't think that this luxury market is going anywhere. I think some people will be priced out and will go to other brands. And I think some people are as well just fed up with seeing all of these price increases happen, especially from Chanel. They keep raising their prices. It's like 15-20% a year at this point. And then it's harder and harder to find bags. And I think some people are feeling left behind, but it is pretty crazy. I think some of these brands are doing this on purpose as well, because they want people that not only can afford to save up for one bag, they want someone who is able to have a purchase history in a store such as Hermes before they are even able to get a bag that they want. So it's really interesting, all of this, and those are just my thoughts. I hope it makes sense. I hope this was an interesting video, and if you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you, I love you. If you're new here, definitely consider subscribing for weekly fashion videos. All right guys, bye.